Welcome everyone to Wizards pregame. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Washington starts their, it's that 1 week a year, Cardell, that we're never too enthused about. Where every game, this is the earliest game of this road trip, where post games start at least 12:30. That said, we'll get into it. They kick this trip off by taking on the Phoenix Suns. Washington. Uh, Washington's coming off back-to-back losses to the Sixers and the Pelicans. It wasn't a good defensive showing for them at all in their game against the Pelicans, to say the least. The Suns hosting the Wizards. They're coming off back-to-back wins against the Grizzlies and the Knicks. Booker and Brooks combined to score 58 points in the win over New York. On the injury front, Trey Young and Cam Whitmore are out for Washington. Uh, J. Marie Bouye and Jalen Green are out for Phoenix. Phoenix won the first game of this year's two-game series in Washington on December 29th. So, Cardell, my question to you is always in pregame, what do the Wizards need to accomplish in order to even this series at one game apiece?
Um, for them, I'm gonna start on the offensive side of the ball because they can play good defense, but against Phoenix, who's a quality defensive team, you got to be able to execute offensively. They're pests. They lead the league in steals per game, 10.4. They're the absolute best, and again, two of their best defenders back. Last game, remember Mark Williams and Grayson Allen didn't play. Now they're going to play. They're healthy today, so that means more rim protection, another big that can hedge out, make it hard on the guards, alternate. But block shots, obviously, rebound. And then you got Grayson Allen who can spread the floor. And there's obviously a pesky defender, man. So you got to be very careful with those guys. Like I said, Grayson Allen, he kind of got a reputation as a dirty player. He do cross the line sometimes, but for me, mostly he just gets after it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's similar to Dylan Brooks, but he just don't go as far with the answers unless he do the dirty play. He stays within just playing just strong, physical, high intensity defense, man. And it bothers people, man. He leads the team and still is 1.7. Like even when you beat him, you gotta be careful. He's still behind you. He's still swiping at the ball. Trying to come up on them, poke the ball, knock the ball loose from behind and stuff like that. Excellent at dig downs. Even if they get the ball to Sarr and Marvin Bagley, let's say they're gonna try to spin and finish on Mark Williams and whatnot, he will definitely come down. When they try to pump, they can power up and strip him. So you gotta be careful. You gotta go quick. You can't be sloppy without the ball. And then on the offensive side, he shoots 37% from deep. So you got to find him. You can't leave him open. He's averaging 15 a game, man. You got to find him. So he leads the team in steals, and he's fourth in scoring. You got to find him. I'm not going to touch on Devin Booker. That's self-explanatory. One of the best players in the league. Obviously, you got to, slow him down. But Mark Williams, he's back. You know what I mean? He may not get all the fanfare or the attention, but he, for what he's doing, he's very good. He's averaging near double-double, 12.3 points, 8.2 rebounds. He gets after it, 1.1 steals, just under one block a game. But he, shooting 65% from the field. But he'll go out there and then, try to block shots. He'll alternate. Like he's not an easy win on that end. You know what I mean? Or at the rim, so to speak. But the main thing with him is his rebounding. He leads the team in offensive rebounds, 3.1. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. They are fifth. They get 12.9 offensive boards a game. So that's how he scores a lot of his points. You got to keep him off the glass. Otherwise he'll kill you. I believe his breakout game in the league was with Charlotte. He had that 2020 game in DC. I'll never forget that. It was just crazy. So we all know he's capable of dominating if you don't keep a body on him. You can't just go ahead and lie. It ain't like I'm guarding Wemby or something like that. He'll put up Wemby numbers if you don't pay him the attention he deserves, man. So you got to deal with that. And also just attack him. You know what I mean? I know he has the tools to be a rim protector, block shots, but I think he gets worried about foul trouble, so he's more fundamentally sound. He'll just wall up. He's 7'1" and, got enough athleticism to bother your shot. Go at the shots and look to finish strong. You can win that battle. So it's going to be interesting to see who kind of win that battle between him and Sarr, because I'm pretty sure he's going to probably start out on him. Obviously, Dylan Brooks, he killed him last game. He had 26 points and 3 rebounds. We all know he's an irritant, and I mean that in a good way. He gonna bother you. He gonna do everything he can to get in your head and get you off your game. So the Wizards got to stay poised and just play, even when he doing all the antics and stuff like that. And it's not just like on defense where he being physical. He'll just take a random charge just to let you know he's there to get you thinking. And next time you drive, you looking for him and stuff, and then you missing shots and turning the ball over because you're so worried about him. That's what he's great at, man. He's probably the best in the league in mental warfare. I mean, let's call it what it is. Like LeBron James has seen everything you can see in the league, and he gets under his skin. You know what I mean? And LeBron ain't the type to really bug out like that over his career. So if he can get under his skin, that means he's a master at the craft. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. So the Wizards got to be aware of the mental warfare games, but also be able to play basketball. You got to find him. He's capable of shooting, especially in the post. He can get to the basket. He has free throws. Underrated off the bounce. He can make plays as well. He's underrated in that guard, but he's a very good passer as well. Um, Complete basketball player. You gotta worry about him. He don't get the respect he deserves, but obviously you see the success of the Suns this year speaks for itself. And last but not least, Colin Gillespie, man. Oof. Yeah, he killed him. He really killed him last game. 25 points, 10 to 14 from the field, 5 of 8 from deep, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, only 2 turnovers, man. 2 steals. Hell of a defender, pesky defender. Obviously, he can shoot the hell out of the ball, shoot the leather off the ball. He can run the team. He don't make mistakes. He don't turn the ball over. The guards, man, they gotta slow him down, man. If he's gonna put up those numbers, obviously Dylan Brooks and Devin are kind of like the go-to guys for them. It's one thing for them to get their numbers, but if he get his numbers and Grayson Allen get his, and then Mark, you have no chance. You gonna get punted. So they gotta find a way to contain him, man. He can't get assists and score 25 points, man. They gotta try to keep him below 15, but that means you gotta find him, spotting up, and you gotta be able to get over those screens, man. Because if you see daylight, clearly he can make shots. You got to get there, man. But the good thing about them is, as far as the good thing about them, they're not. He doesn't turn the ball over at a high rate. Colin Gillespie, but as a team, they do. You know what I mean? Like they're 21st in the league, 15.5 turnovers a game. You can speed them up a little bit. You can crowd them. You can make them work because yes, they're fundamentally sound. They get after defensively. There aren't really any freak athletes on that perimeter where you can't, stay with them and bother them. So that's on the Wizards game. Keep in mind, try to pressure them and force them to make mistakes sometimes. That's the thing about the Wizards. I feel like throughout the season, they kind of wait for teams to hit them first before they start hitting them. And I mean on both ends. Just because you're on defense, I mean you got wait. Attack them first, make them uncomfortable. That's how you get under their skin and make them make mistakes and miss shots, and that plays to your advantage. Hit them first. Also, when they're not hitting shots, they don't move the ball well. You got certain players that do. Colin Gillespie do it. Dylan Brooks will do it. Booker's a capable playmaker, but there's a lot of guys on that team that don't move the ball well, and it shows. They're 20th in the league in assists, 25.3. So if you run them off the free throw line, make them make decisions with the ball, make them make reads, that plays into your hands if you're the Washington Wizards. They're a great offensive rebounding team, but they're not a great rebounding team. You got to crash the boards. They're 21st in the league, 43.3 rebounds. So Sarr, Marvin Bagley, and those guys, Champagny, I always include him in there. He's a great rebounder for a size, for a wing. Getting in there and crash, Bub, all the guards, go get it. You know what I mean? And another thing, they don't get a lot of free throw attempts, but when they do go to the line, they make them. They just under 80%. That's ninth in the league, 79.5%. So you got to defend without fouling. So even if you run them off the three-point line, you can't be in recovery mode so hard where you get baited into hitting them. And Devin Booker's a master at that. And Dylan Brooks, they're pump for you run off the three-point line. They act like they about to drive into the paint and then just pull up on you, hit the brakes on you, run it to them, and they get to the free throw line with some chip you want. So, no, you just got to be smart, man. And they're a hell of a three-point shooting team, which we We know they're 11th in the league, 36.5%. They're eighth in 3-point attempts, 39.4, just under 40, and they're eighth in 3-point makes a game, 14.4. So there you have it, man. The Wizards got to be on the string on both ends. They got to be able to execute and execute efficiently on both ends. But normally I kind of focus more on defense. That goes without saying, but they got to bring it offensively too. You can't just rely on your defense in this one because they're going to figure out a way to score points. But if you don't score enough points against their defense, you have no chance of beating them.
And something to keep in mind on you talk about them being one of the best offensive rebounding teams. That came the Pelicans are on that list. They're in the top 10 offensive rebounding as well. And we saw what type of damage that caused Washington in that game. And the only thing I wanted to add was shout out to Dylan Brooks for the way he's continued to add to his game. Like you said, he does not get the credit he deserves for how he's rounded out his game. He went from like strictly three and D to like this year we're really seeing him. He has a real nice game, just offensive game as a whole. So again, those are the things to keep an eye on. You guys watch tonight's game. We'll check in with you guys afterwards for outlook, and I'll see you guys soon.